You could never tell anyone, because it must be your fault. It hurts so deep, and the frustration is unbearable. You've tried to make it stop, but your anger boils beneath the surface. You've tried everything, even prayer, but nothing seems to work. So you just give up and hide it. You hope it will just go away, but the days pass and nothing changes.
Hi, my name's Kathy Hammond, and I would like to invite you to a fantastic study that transformed my life, and it's about emotional healing, and it's called Lose the Baggage and Laugh Again. That's the name of both the book and the workbook. They work together, and if you'd like to join us, I'd be thrilled to help you out. And you can order those by www.hammondsquaredministries.com or my email, Kathy_Hammond@hotmail.com. God bless you, and I hope you join me in this adventure. If you have made it this far in this study, I commend you, because the warfare has had to be excruciating for you to go through this. Because see, the enemy fears you finding out who you really are, who your God is, how much He loves you, and what He's provided for you. So if you've made it to this number 7, you are to be commended. And this study, if you look on page 18 of the event wheel, we're going to combine the next 4 studies together because it's self-explanatory, and these are so important. It might look like you can look these and not do these because they don't seem like they're that vital. But these are how your strongholds get developed. These are the foundational blocks. The first is called the unholy trio of bitter root judgments. God says in Matthew 7:1, "Judge not, lest ye be judged. For with the same measure that you mete, it shall be given back unto you," meted back unto you. So what the saying is, a lot of what you might be dealing with has nothing to do with the enemy attacking you. You sowed wrong seed. Let me give you an example. When we first started out ministry, we were youth pastors in Bloomington, Minnesota. And I judged the pastor's wife in a situation. She was in a counseling situation, and I thought to myself, I didn't verbalize it, but I thought to myself, if I were the pastor's wife, I would do that differently. 10 years later, we're in Anoka, Minnesota, pastoring a church we planted. I'm sitting in a counseling situation, and all of a sudden the Holy Spirit said, "Does this scene look familiar to you?" And I thought, what? He said, "You remember when you judged the pastor's wife back in Bloomington, Minnesota? Now you're in the same predicament. You're going to reap what you sowed." And I thought then, dear God, if you will help me not to sow anymore, I will not sow negatively. And I didn't even say it. But what happens, the principle and the law of sowing and reaping is just like gravity. You can say, I'm going to jump off this building and fly, but gravity will take over. The same principle. You set in place a law of sowing and reaping. So what we need to do is identify the areas that you've judged, and let's deal with those things. Let's cancel that crop and start sowing good seed. Or say, well, I've sowed a lot of bad seed. Maybe you can pray for mercy and start this, but stop it now. You say, well, I didn't tell anybody. Remember what we said in Proverbs 23:7, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." And think, well, this might be just like straining in a gnat and swallowing a camel. What you've got to realize, these are principles. And if you judged your mom and dad, your children are probably judging you. So let's stop the camera and ask the Lord what you need to deal with, what crop you need to pull up and start sowing good. So if you'll stop the DVD and let me start working on those prayers. And it goes into page 66. And it's the first. So what you do, this is how it goes. Lord, I recognize I am judged. You ask the Holy Spirit who you've judged. And I judge them for. Write it down. You say, well, that's so insignificant. If we want to get rid of all this stuff in your life and start over, we've got to be specific. And I